Hello and welcome to Data Vlog. In this Excel tutorial for beginners, I will show you how to use ifs function in Microsoft Excel. Before I proceed with this tutorial, it's my humble request, kindly subscribe to my channel to keep supporting me. In my previous Excel tutorial, I have explained about how to use if formula in Excel, and I have also explained about nested if conditions and logical AND operators, etc. In our example, we have used this data of multiple students with their total marks. And we have derived these two columns based on marks. One is status and the other one is grade. For the status column, we have used simple if condition. If the student scored more than 275, it's pass, otherwise fail. So if condition is nothing but if else, which means if the condition is true, return certain value, otherwise return some other value. So this formula is working fine for this column. And in the second column, we have used nested if conditions, which means if condition inside another if condition. So we have used nested ifs to calculate grade. If the student scored more than 450, it's A grade. If it's 350, B grade. If scored more than 275, C grade, otherwise fail, which is working fine. Instead of writing this complicated nested if formula, we can use ifs function to evaluate multiple conditions. So I'm going to show you this example. To use ifs function, just type equal to and start typing ifs, and you can see this suggestion. Just press tab and you have this function hint box ifs logical test 1 value if true 1 and so on logical test 2 value if true 2. So this way you can write multiple conditions. So I'm going to start typing formula. The marks greater than 450, then A grade. The marks greater than 350, then B grade. If the marks greater than 275, then C grade. Unlike in if condition where you have some else part where you don't need to mention the condition, but in ifs formula we don't have any else part. So for failing also you need to write a condition. Marks less than or equal to 275, then fail. Press enter, select the cell, drag down this formula, and we got the same result. So instead of writing these complicated nested if conditions and else part, we can use ifs function to write multiple conditions and their respective written values. But as I explained, in if condition we have else part, in ifs function we don't have any else part, so we have written a fail condition here, like if the student scored less than or equal to 275, then fail. But instead of mentioning this condition, we can write logical value true, which means this condition is always true. Press enter and drag down this formula. We got the same result. Excel starts checking the conditions from left to right. It checks the first condition, then the second condition, third condition, and the final one is always true, which means if all of these conditions fail, then it will return this true value, which is fail here. Instead of checking this value, if I write true here and press enter and drag down this formula, we got all A's because it has checked the first condition and the first condition is true and it's not going to check rest of the values. So that is why it is returning A for all of these cases. I'm just pressing Ctrl Z. Let us see another scenario. For example, I have fixed this 500 as a benchmark score. If any student scored more than 500, he is a topper. If the student scored less than 500, he is an average student. Let us write a formula for this. Equal to ifs, if the score is greater than this score, and I'm going to log this particular cell by pressing F4. I'm logging the column name and as well as the row number because in all of these scenarios we are going to compare against this benchmark value. Greater than 500, then topper, same score, less than 500, comma, then the student is average. Press enter and drag down this formula, and we got this not available value because we haven't used any condition matching this score, because here the 500 is equal to 500, it is not greater or less than 500. That is why it is returning not available. So in this case we can use true logical value. So if all of these conditions fail, then it will return a default value. Same. And drag down this formula. So we got same here. That is why we can use true logical value to return some default value if all of the conditions fail. Let us go and check another example. Here I have grapes, potato, chocolate, cookie, and I'm going to use ifs function to categorize this one. Ifs this is equal to grapes, then return fruits. If the same is equal to potato, then return veggies. Press enter and drag down this formula. See, we got fruits for grapes, veggies for potato, but we don't have anything for chocolate or cookie. So in that case, select this particular cell again and we are going to modify the formula and we are going to give a default value true and we are going to write miscellaneous as the default value. So this way if function is useful when you want to evaluate multiple conditions and return their respective values and also use a default value if all of the conditions fail. That's all folks. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on ifs formula in Excel. Please do subscribe to Data Vlog for more Excel tutorials. And I will catch you in another Excel tutorial. Thank you.